Hello, I'm Vadim, a concept artist and illustrator, and today I wanted to share my illustration process with you and also do kind of a retrospective about my latest big illustration, to notice what problems I encountered along the way, how I fixed them, and also what parts I could have done even better. I wanted to make a draw this again meme for a while now. For those who don't know, it's a thing where you pick your old picture, redraw it, and hopefully see how much you improved over all those years. To pick the picture to redraw, I decided to check my very first uploads on DeviantArt. Okay, this might be too early. This one is perfect though. It's my third ever digital painting, done on a tiny Wacom bamboo. I still remember saving up for it with my part-time job while also studying programming in the university. At that time I wanted to illustrate a bunch of spells from Dungeons & Dragons pen and paper RPG, and Dancing Lights seems like a fun one. It basically creates a bunch of floating fey-like spheres of light that the wizard can control to light up his path, scout ahead, distract his enemies and stuff like that. So, the first attempt. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The only part that looks kinda decent was not even made by me. My friend added that cute squirrel on her shoulder. But also, there is some amount of soul in the picture, and I'd say the atmosphere kinda works. It does look like a dark forest, only lit by the worm spell. And that's the vibe I wanted to convey in the first place. I'd separate all that's wrong with this picture in three big parts. First of all, it's design. The girl has extremely bland and featureless expression, and also her costume looks incredibly boring and generic. It's basically like just a bed sheet wrapped over her, and that's it. The second part is composition. Everything is very static and motionless, and there are some weird tangents going on between her back and the tree behind her. Tangents are those unappealing places where shapes touch each other and destroy the feeling of death. Cynics has a great video about them, so check it out if you want to learn more. Link is in the description. And the third part is rendering. Her face features are painted as symbols, like a literal child drawing, and like depth. And also there are no folds on her clothes to indicate its material. I started the process of redrawing with the first weak part, design. Originally it was just a generic wizard druid lady, something I came up with as I was already painting the picture, to have some context and storytelling for the spell, so it's not just a cool visual effect in the void. This time I've taken a Dungeons & Dragons character I created some time ago, Neela the Druid Detective. Although, to be completely honest with you, I created her in Neverwinter Nights video game. Never had a chance to play her in an actual live Dungeons & Dragons, because I'm a forever dungeon master nowadays. The idea behind her was to take the classic detective archetype, but instead of academic training, law knowledge, mechanical tools and other urban stuff, she would use nature spells, animal companions and spirits to sneak around, search for clues and tail the suspects. I did some pencil doodling in my sketchbook, and this was the first lesson I've learned. These dirty, barely recognizable physical sketches with pencil or pen are so important for the design process, because they let you just throw raw ideas out without getting distracted by details and all the tools that digital drawing gives you, like Ctrl-Z, transformations, layers, etc. You also have very low expectations from these doodles. They are meant purely for you, not as a showcase for social media and stuff, so personally for me this helps a lot to become more relaxed and creative with drawing. After that I jumped into Photoshop and designed 3 sets around her character. The main themes being classical detective, think Sherlock Holmes with his iconic hat and trench coat, and nature wizard with flower and leaf themed dresses and animal companions nesting in her head or pockets. This is the final version, a combination of all 3 thumbnails. I thought that the Sherlock hat is pretty much mandatory for instantly notifying the viewers that this character is a detective. Also, that magical stuff, stylized as a magnifying glass, is perfect for the detective plus druid combination. And of course, lots of animal helpers. Birds to scout above, squirrels to get into close buildings through small holes, etc. Now that I had a clear vision of main character design, it was time to start working on the composition. And the absolutely best way to do this is to sketch a bunch of small thumbnails, focusing purely on the big picture, composition and readability, so there's no temptation for you to get bogged down into details, drawing like individual leaves or flowers. I tend to do that a lot. Here's what I've got, trying to capture a moment where Neela uses this dancing light spell in her adventures. To break the static feel of the original picture, I've used a diagonal horizon line and lots of swirly lines and motions to really bring that action feeling. Now that I look at these, maybe it would be cool to also include a thumbnail where Neela is doing some kind of specifically detective work. Like uses a spell to light up some hidden tracks or evidence in the snow, for example, or investigate something with her magnifying glass stuff. Might have been even better in terms of storytelling and showing her unique character. Still, I'm also happy with the option I picked, the one in the center. It's close to the original picture but better, which was the goal of this Draw This Again challenge. My friends mentioned that her hand looked kinda unnatural for that pose, so I experimented with them a bit. Better to do that early while I'm still in thumbnailing stage than to suffer later when I'll be at rendering and detailing stages. Next, I tried out some color schemes. I used a color layer in Photoshop to paint over my black and white thumbnail, and also tried sticking relatively close to the original painting, evoking the feeling of a somewhat scary but also mysterious and beautiful winter forest at night. I ended up picking a mix of option 1 and 2 as my final color palette and started rendering. To be efficient with rendering, it's super important to have a solid understanding of exactly what you're going to be painting, to basically see the final picture in your mind. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time just guessing. And believe me, it was my number one problem before, and I wasted a literal month slowly scribbling on one illustration while more efficient people made like 5 better looking ones in the same amount of time. Speaking of 3D, you might have noticed this layer here. I've started using Blender a lot lately to help me understand where different objects in complex scenes are located in 3D space in relation to each other, and also how lighting affects them. If you have trouble visualizing your scenes and characters in 3D space with just your mind, I highly recommend using either a 3D application or even physical sculpting like modeling clay to help you see and feel how it looks like. Rotate the camera around and see how your lighting sources affect the form. And the more you do this, the more you populate your visual library, the easier it will be for you to draw only using your mind later, just like pros do. Now that I have my drawing, it's time for my favorite part, laying down the colors. And this is actually where I became stuck for the first time. This log in the foreground was just not fitting with the rest of the scene. Tried a few different options before committing. I wanted to get the damn log just right before polishing the rest of the picture. Those red labels are little reminders to myself to not lose track of the important things. Because I had a really bad habit of procrastinating by rendering some grass or flowers somewhere in the corner instead of fixing the glaring mistakes with my focal points. I'm finally more or less happy with that log, so I move in to refine the background forest, trying to stylize the trees too so they fit with their character style. If you are getting stuck on the painting phase, it's often a good idea to create a half-transparent white or black layer on top of it and just do another drawing of the subject to better understand its shape. Notice those orange lines here. They're here to remind me of the flow of the composition. I changed her outstretched hand here, and also this is a reminder, if you have problem with hands, the best advice is to go and take a photo in the mirror of your own hands and use it as a reference. Getting stuck with the damn log again. This time with how the light should look on it. Should it be reflected in snow? Or how bright should it be to not distract from the main character? Yeah, another big mistake. Why the hell did I replace this awesome dynamic squirrel with that really thick monstrosity? But also I finally understood that it's better to keep the light on the log more subdued compared to the focal points, character and her dancing lights. The picture looks closer and closer to finish, so I decided that it's time to refine the face and her clothes. Also not forgetting to make her hair look stylized and dynamic too. Final but super important fixes to the face. My friend Riruchka pointed them out to me. Link to her Twitter is in the description. She makes super cute art. Go check her out. These fixes made such a huge difference. They basically saved the picture. Well, here it is, the final illustration, product of blood, sweat and tears. I was very happy with it once I finished it, although later I've got some critique about it from a splash artist at Riot. He said that in general the composition, colors, etc. are nice here, but the illustration is lacking a serious polishing and detailing pass to fit their splash art standards. Right now it's kinda too paintery. And here's the completed Draw This Again meme. Yeah, soul versus soulless. I have to say though, seeing this is super motivating because in day-to-day life it often seemed to me that I've barely made any progress from the time I decided to switch my careers and started learning the art by myself. But I think here I did significantly improve all three parts that I was talking about before: character design, overall dynamic composition, and rendering. Speaking of things I want to improve next, it's mostly speed and overall efficiency. Just really want to minimize the amount of chicken scratching I sometimes mindlessly do. Have you ever done this Draw This Again thingy? Please share your experience with it in the comments. I'd love to hear how other people have done it and what did they feel from doing it. And if you haven't done it, try it out. Pick some old picture you did and upgrade it with your current style and technique. Anyway, thanks for watching. This turned out much longer than I expected. Please tell me if you liked the video or was it perhaps boring in some parts and maybe I could do something better next time. See ya!